I'm Roger, and what we have here is a little bit of a special type nuke that I saw when I was down in the South Caribbean on the island of Grenada, also called the Spice Island. There's quite a few beekeepers down there, and honey is a rather expensive product down there, but I happened to talk to one of the beekeepers when I was actually touring a rum factory, of all things. And yes, I like rum, and yes, I did do the tasting. Tried every variety they had. Anyway, getting back to this special nuke, I noticed it and I asked about it because it was just unique. And he told me what it is. It's his swarm nuke. He uses it when he has frames that have swarm cells on. He can make a split just using his swarm cells. It is deeper than a conventional nuke, and what I've done here is I've set a regular nuke box on top to show that you could expand this if you wanted to. I made kind of a telescoping cover for it. I'll take this off here. So what this one here is, it has a, hold this up, a screen bottom board. They do have aromites down there, of course. They do not have small hive beetle, which I was really surprised. He knew what they were, but he'd never seen one. So they don't have that problem down there, and which really surprised me because it never gets cold down there. Being in the Caribbean, obviously you don't have to worry about overwinter problems. What this is made out of, it's just half-inch plywood on the sides. The bottom is made out of 2x, which were some pieces of Douglas fir that were cut off from a joist on a construction project. The plywood is half-inch CDX. And what I got was a bunch of triangles from a house that was being built, and as they cut for the different gables and valleys and everything, they had these triangle pieces left over, and a friend of mine, carpenter, asked me if I could use them for anything, and I said, sure, they're small, but I can certainly make some good pieces out of them. So what this is, basically is this is about an inch deeper than a standard nuke. And what the theory is behind it is, if he has a frame and he finds swarm cells on the bottom, what he told me he does, he reduces them down to just 2 or 3 cells, and he takes that in a frame of brood and some storage, pollen and honey if it's available, otherwise he'll feed them. And he'll put that in this, and it's basically kind of a walk-away split. And he lets the queen hatch and go out and mate on her own. They don't have a problem with Africanized bees down there at all. I did ask about that. This is just kind of unique. I wish I would have had a camera with me one of the rare times when I didn't have one. But I just thought I'd pattern this and make one on my own. On the back side of this, see here, there's a slot. This is underneath the screen, so I can either put a piece of coroplast in there for a monitoring board, or I can just put a piece of 1/4-inch plywood in there. This also has a hive stand built onto it. Like I say, I patterned it after what he had built, as well as I can remember what I saw. Like I said, I wish I would have had a camera for this one. Little ramp on the front here. That's made out of a piece of 1/4-inch underlayment made for bathrooms, so it's waterproof. So even though it looks like just regular 1/4-inch plywood, it is an exterior glue waterproof type plywood. And I'll get this thing painted here, and whether or not it'll match my other nuke boxes or not, I haven't decided yet. Got a little sanding to do on it, but just thought I'd run this by you in case you wanted a little bit something different. And I did make sure that I sized it so that I could use it with my regular nuke boxes if I did need to add another story to it, and not, if I couldn't change it to what's in there to a 10 frame. The covers that they use down there are the migratory style covers. I made this one here basically telescoping so I could use it with both, and got a little bit more flexibility here and security. We have a little bit of a problem with skunks and possums around here, coons, and everything's going to need to be strapped down and fastened down well. So well, then the wind too. I guess another little plus with this is with this base being this heavy, because this, for a nuke, this is heavy, with this base being made out of 2x material, it'll help it in the wind. I'll still, hopefully I'm strapped down, but once in a while I get a little forgetful. What I may do is I have some scraps of FRP, which is fiberglass reinforced plastic. I may use that, just put a sheet of it on top here. I may use a piece of EPDM rubber. Got a little finishing work to do on here yet, but just thought I'd point this out. It's obviously not going to be for everybody, and there's quite a bit of work involved with it, with the rabbets and everything that I did. And you know, it's not your $10 nuke you can make if you had to buy the materials. It's going to cost you quite a bit more than that. Take quite a bit more time. But like I said, not for everybody, but just thought I'd kind of point this out, and something I saw down in the South Caribbean when we were out there last month. Okay, this is what you call an after the thought edit. Something I wanted to add after I shot the original video, so this is going to be stuck in the middle there somewhere. Of course, as I may have mentioned, the dimensions of this nuke that I saw down in the island of Grenada, the dimensions will be at the end here. I did some screenshots. I made a little sketch. I'm not going to mess with SketchUp or AutoCAD or anything for it. It's just a sketch on some paper. You can pause the video and copy it down if you like. There's a couple of things that are not mentioned in there, and that's the this here. These little blocks that need to be in between. You'll be able to figure it out real easy once you get the base put together. You just cut those blocks. It depends on what size opening you want here for your tray. This is set up for some piece of 1/4" coroplast for a bottom board for monitoring, or I can stick plywood or masonite in there to close it up if I'm going to be doing an OA vape, or if I need to decrease ventilation, or if the weather gets cold. A little bit of a view of the bottom of it here. Okay, the main difference between this and the regular nuke, this is just a regular 5-frame nuke that we use. If I put this side by side and match up where the bottom boards are, should be right about there. You'll see this is just about 1 inch deeper. This here, that is for doing a split when there are swarm cells present. And the beekeeper I talked to down in Grenada, so what they do with this is, if they, of course, they have year-round bees down there, they don't have a cold season. They don't have a dearth either. It's just they got pollen all the time, and nectar and everything, because it's a tropical island. However, bees naturally do swarm, and when he does find swarm cells and he wants to make a split, they use one of these, and because it's a little bit deeper, the swarm cell wouldn't be damaged, where there's always a chance if you would put it into a regular nuke, but since that swarm cell is hanging off the bottom of the frame, there's a chance that there could be damage to it. So that's my little after the thought edit, and now we'll get back to the rest of the video. Anyway, thanks for watching, and of course we're always looking for subscribers. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, until the next video, thanks for watching.